Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, is the dream of every mountaineer to conquer it. It is still considered as the greatest achievement a mountaineer holds. Not only professional climbers, but also people who chase after an adrenaline rush risk their lives just to look down on Earth from the highest place in the world, knowing that all of this effort and risk is rewarded with a breathtaking view and a sense of personal achievement. But what is the price that one must pay to make their dream come true? The risks that the ascent holds are beyond what an average person could imagine, and it might kill anyone who is not fully prepared to face them. The increased number of deaths on the mountain shows that not everyone makes it out of the mountain alive. Is that the reason why Mount Everest is also called the open-air graveyard? When Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay scaled the mountain for the first time in 1953, overcoming all the hardships and following their trail, many more followed. However, some of them couldn't make it up to the peak. They were just abandoned halfway. The highest peak has taken the lives of at least 300 climbers, and not everyone has died by falling from heights. Rather, some of them are left behind, alive. So, what is the reason behind this? Why don't the healthy mountaineers help their weaker friends? Why did they just leave them to freeze to their deaths? Are they selfish? Watch this video to the very end to know the answers. We all know that it is extremely difficult to climb Mount Everest. The high altitude of the mountain directly correlates with the amount of oxygen, making it way more difficult than it already is. The level of oxygen available keeps on decreasing as you go up along the trail. When the air pressure decreases, it affects the health and makes the climber weaker with every step. This mostly occurs at a height of 8,000 meters, which is why this place is called the death zone. This place has the least amount of oxygen, and this is why almost all the climbers need additional oxygen supply in this area. This makes it the most challenging part of the climb. The barometric pressure also causes the weight to feel 10 times heavier, making the mountaineers feel sluggish, disoriented, and fatigued. This is when harmful distress occurs to the organs. The cells start dying one by one due to the lack of oxygen. Because of all these reasons, the climbers don't last more than 48 hours in the death zone. The climbers who do manage to survive the death zone are left with lingering effects. So the reason why the weaker climbers couldn't be saved is because first, the mountain is above 4.9 miles above sea level, making it a near impossible task to carry them down if they can't move independently. Adding to the weight of the person, the gear and the tank add on extra weight of about 200 pounds, which would make it difficult to carry them around, even for the strongest. And when they perform heavy tasks, such as carrying a person, they would require more oxygen than the limited oxygen supply that is provided to them, leaving them exhausted after a point. So the best they could do is communicate with the base camp and leave it up to them to rescue them. This difficult decision is not chosen due to morality, but rather due to oxygen deprivation and physical endurance. Each climber has chosen to risk their lives and are on the line of life and death, hence prioritizing the rescue of the wounded is a luxury they can't afford to choose. Now, when the people with you die, the standard protocol says that to leave the dead body where they died, and so these corpses remain to spend eternity on the mountaintop, serving as a warning to climbers as well as gruesome mile markers. One of the most famous corpses, known as Green Boots, was passed by almost every climber to reach the death zone. The identity of Green Boots is highly contested, but it's most widely believed that it is Sewang Paljar, an Indian climber who died in 1996. Even under these harsh conditions, there are some cases which put humanity first, where they managed to save others' lives. In 1996, Anatoly Bukreev saved 3 climbers during an intense storm above Camp 4. 10 years later, Miles Osborne of Portsmouth, England, Andrew Brash of Calgary, Canada, and Jang Bu Sherpa saved Lincoln Hall from a few hundred feet below the summit. It's not impossible to save someone on Everest, but not everyone can do it either. For saving someone, you need to be a real mountaineer and not a tourist, and should be well prepared for situations like these. And second, be ready to give up the summit to save a life. So after hearing about all these tragic stories, which comes along with scaling the great Mount Everest, and the fact that there is a possibility that you make it out alive, are you still willing to do it? What would you do if you were stuck in this battle between survival and humanity? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and share and subscribe too.